What is the perpendicularity of the bisector? Jeez, that's... Why do people ask me like weird ass questions to start the tutorial with? Alright guys, 9 o'clock. It's nice and quiet, only 20 of you guys here so far. That actually works for me real nicely. Wasn't as crazy as wasn't as crazy as on Monday. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at just some questions with positive indices and also looking at some of the log stuff as well. So we're going to start off with these 3 questions here. Then we've got a couple of make x the subject questions using with powers. No worries, Qwit. Then we also have solve for x, but what I wanted to show you guys particularly with these types of questions is some really quick ways of doing it. Oh, is the audio repeat? No, it's not. Okay. And then we're going to finish off with a final question, which is going to be an excellence level question, which is this one here. Although I think it's a merit, but I can't remember now. Okay, so let's actually get started here. So guys, as usual, just some kind of ground rules with the tutorial. If you can keep the chat free for people that are just asking questions. Yeah, I really don't want to put slow mode on because I did have to put slow mode on the other day with that many people coming, and you know, it's a bit difficult trying to deal with spam. So as always, I'm just going to give you guys about maybe a minute to just have a go with these 3 questions. See how far you can actually get with it, get with the question, and then I'll go through the answers. Oh wow, cool design. You really got to talk to someone, man. Yes, Joshua, I am. Just give me 1 second, guys. All right, okay, so let's get started with these questions. So the first question that the reason I like starting with these questions is because generally with the algebra level 2 paper, they always have like these types of questions which end up being like achieved in a merit question. Like I'll actually show you guys the first question 1A is achieved, 1B is merit, and 1C is merit as well. So looking at the first question, we've got to write this in positive index. Now, when they're talking about positive index, what they mean by is that the power actually has to be positive. All right. Now, looking at these equations, I'm going to show you guys some of the common mistakes people actually do. And then I'm also going to show you guys what the right answer is. So I'm going to first do the right answer. So in this, what we have is 2 over 3 to the power of x whole squared. So that's why there's that bracket. The -2 is just for whatever's inside the bracket. And as for the 2, remember the 2 has a power of +1, so we don't really touch it, and we just leave it as it is. So then what we need to do is we kind of need to expand the 3x squared. So remember that 3 has a power of 1 and x also has a power of 1, which means we can rewrite this as 2 to the power of 3 squared and x squared. And simplifying this, we're going to get 2 over 9x squared. All right, kind of nice to start very easily. So that's like an achieved question right there. Now, when we get to common mistakes people do with question 1a is sometimes they actually take the 2 down as well. So just be careful with that, like I'm talking about here. Let's get rid of that. So the 2 right here, like they actually bring it down into the denominator, so it kind of becomes a bit messy in that sense. So guys, can you guys see the mouse there? Just want to double check, hang on. Great. Okay, you can't actually see my mouse on the screen. No worries, Jay, you're welcome, man. Okay, so the mouse is pointless, so I don't need it. All right, so let's go to question B. Question B, again, you've got a negative power there. Now, the easiest way to do this, especially when you're dealing with fractions, is this. Just flip the fraction upside down and change the power to positive. So I'm going to rewrite this as 3y squared over 2x cubed, and then that's going to be to the power of 2. So at this point, the mistake that I see people do is that they actually write the answer like this. So they go, okay, so we see the squared, so 2 times 2, that becomes y to the power of 4. So then we write this as 3y to the power of 4 over 2x to the power of, you've got 3 and 2, which actually gives you 6. And this is the common mistake that actually people actually do. All right, remember that this is actually not correct, and the reason is because you've actually got 1 and 2 there. They both have powers of 1, which means you've got to actually go 1 times 2 for the 3. So you're going to actually end up with 3 squared. And then you've also got the 2 to the power of 1, and then that's actually multiplied by 2. So we're going to rewrite this as 2 squared. Sweet as guys, no worries to the level ones, it's not a problem. So we're not finished with this question yet. So 3 squared ends up being 9. So we've got 9y to the power of 4, and then 2 squared is 4. So this is basically our final answer. Now, you're thinking like this is like way too easy for a level 2 merit question, but guess what? That's what the merit right there is. And I think achieved is when you get one of either the numerator correct or the denominator correct. Tom, I won't be able to answer any of the MCAT questions till I find a paper in the public domain. So the paper has to come on NZQA website before I can do it. Otherwise, I do get into a little bit of trouble. Aaron, yep, sure. We're going to be covering some square root ones towards the end. So there's a couple of questions I'll be covering very quickly, but trust me, we've got, I think, till you guys' exam is not till November, so we've got a bit of time before we can actually, we'll cover everything. Tom, yes, I am a teacher, but the problem is we don't actually do the MCAT, so that means I don't actually get, I don't get the paper, I don't get to see the paper. So our school actually needs to do the paper for me to actually see it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys another question very similar to B, just for you guys to kind of have a go. I'm just going to put that down here. So an extension of B. I want you guys to try this. So this is the question I'd like you guys to try. We're going to put down 3y cubed over okay, so there's my extension question for you. Not extension question, just a question for you guys to actually give it a go. Dylan, if you want to carry on with the questions, Dylan, in my description, I've actually got a link to the notebook. So if you go there and if you go into tutorials level 2, you should be able to see all of today's questions, and then you can just kind of go ahead and just try it out, man, if you want to have a go. So Tom, going back to you, yeah, once I get the paper when it's public, I will actually do it, man. All right, if you guys want me to go through question B, just let me know, or if you need a little bit more time, that's fine too. Okay, I think I'll actually go through question B now. It's a bit quiet here. So, first rule of things is that we're going to switch. Yep, awesome, Hugh. I'm just going to go through the answer now. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip the fraction upside down because it's got a negative power. So I'm going to end up with x squared z divided by 3y cubed, and that's now to the power of positive 3. So just remember, this is something that I tell my guys to do as well, is when you have these things, just get into the habit of putting anything that's without power, just putting it put a 1 next to it so that you know that you've got to actually deal with that power. So then the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as x to the power of, well, we've got 2 times 3, so I'm just going to write down 2 times 3, z to the power of 1 times 3, and the whole thing is divided by 3 to the power of 1 times 3, y to the power of 3 times 3. So just remember that this is where the 3 is coming from, and we've actually got to multiply all the powers. Okay, so once we do that, we are going to get x to the power of 6, z to the power of 3. Now 3 to the power of 3 is 9 and 27, and then we're going to get y to the power of 9. Okay, so that's basically it for question B, guys. Any question with this one before I go on to the next question? All right, let's go to the next one then. Okay, that was the previous one was a merit question. So we go to question C, 1C. So when you actually have fractions, you've also got to do the same thing again, all right? So you still have to follow the same rules. So in this case, especially for question C here, you can actually do it 2 ways. You could have actually simplified it first. So I'm going to show you guys both methods. The first method is, let me see. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of the x to the power of 8 first. So the way I'm going to get rid of it is, if you guys think about it, I've got x to the power of 6 in the numerator and x to the power of 8 in the denominator. So then we're going to have 9 over x squared, and then now this is raised to the power of 3 over 2. So remember that 9 has a power of 1 by itself, so that when we actually take it out of the brackets, we're going to get 9 to the power of 1 times 3 over 2 equals x to the power of 2 times 3 over 2. Now here's the thing, guys. You guys have actually got your calculators. Now whether you have a graphics calculator or a normal calculator, it doesn't really matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put this as 9 to the power of 3 over 2. And also just remember that when you actually do this in the calculator, I'm going to show you guys 2 different ways. The first one is when you do it this way. When you go 9 to the power of 3 over 2, what happens is you actually get this answer, which is 364.5. The problem though is this is not the right answer. The reason it's not the right answer is because you've actually forgot to put the bracket around 3 over 2. So what you got to do is you got to go 9 to the power of, make sure you put the bracket and then put in 3 over 2, and then you actually get the correct answer for this particular value. Cam question C, are you talking about question C here, Cam? Question C would be a merit question. So once we get that 9 to the power of 3 over 2 as 27, we just replace that with 27, and then we've got x to the power of 2 times 3 over 2. So both of those 2's cancel out, and what we left over with just x to the power of 3. All right, so this is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is you could have done it where you actually get rid of the power first. So in other words, what we're doing is we're going to go 9x to the power of 6 over x to the power of 8 to the power of 3 over 2. So remember that 9 has a power of 1. So then we rewrite this as 9 to the power of 1 times 3 over 2, x to the power of 6 times 3 over 2, the whole thing divided by x to the power of 8 times 3 over 2. So we also already showed you guys how to do 9 to the power of 3 over 2. So we're going to get 27. And then 6 times 3, which I'm doing this here. 6 times 3 is 18, divided by 2 is 9. So we've got 26x to the power of 9, divided by x to the power of, you've got 8 times 3, which is 24, divided by 2 is 12. So we're going to get x to the power of 12. And from here, you guys can see it's still the same process. We've actually got 9 x's in the numerator. We've got 12 in the denominator, so we can rewrite this as 3 and 27 over x cubed. So, same answer, both ways. So this question is also a merit question. And again, I think you'll get an achieved if you get either the numerator or denominator correct. I just can't remember which year this question was from, but I knew it was a merit question. Alright guys, if you have any questions about question 1C, now's the time. Otherwise, we go to question 2A. Which mock paper are you talking about, Micah? Is that level 2 or level 1? Can you also find the square root and then cube that answer? Oh yeah, of course. Kate, of course you could. Yeah, actually that's a really good point. Yes, because then what you would get is, I think, 3. Yeah, no, that works perfectly fine as well. Micah, like, basically, mate, I won't be able to do any mock exam papers because of what do you say, copyright issues, because all the schools we have to, like, yeah, I've been told I can't actually make videos for it. So, but in saying that, I've had some people send me some screenshot of questions, which I'm happy to kind of do, because if I don't know where the question comes from, that's different. I hope that makes sense, Micah. Anyway, let's go to question 2A, guys. Question 2A, basically it's a combination of using exponents sometimes, and sometimes you get to actually do logs. Aaron, the square root way. Okay, let's see, have I got space here? Yes, I do. So if I wanted to do that square root way, 9x6 so basically what Kate was saying is that, I mean, like, guys, just remember these types of questions, there's like so many ways you can do it. So this is just another method. So what I could do is, what she meant by square root was that, I mean, I'm hoping this is what she was talking about. So we can actually write this as to the power of half, and then all of that is actually cubed, because remember, half times 3 is equal to 3 over 2. So if I take square root of 9 in this case, so what I've got is almost, I'm going to rewrite this as square root of 9 to the power of x6 divided by x to the power of 8. And remember, I could actually split this up again. Because it's a square root symbol, I can split it up as 9x6 over square root of x8. So now what I can do is square root of 9 is 3, square root of x to the power of 6 is 3, over x to the power of 8, square root of that is x to the power of 4. Molster, no, it's not. MCAT is just horrible. Level 2 is a lot more easier, as long as you do the work. It's not like something you can just like get everything sorted in like 1 week. You gotta consistently do work. Okay, anyway, let's go back to this. So this now can be written as 3 over x, because x cubed and x4 kind of, x cubed goes away and you just got x1 left. So then you've got 3 over x to the power of 3. So you get 3 cubed over x cubed, which is the same thing as 27 over x cubed. Aaron, Kate, I think that's what you guys were talking about, yeah? Sweet, cool. So let's go to question 2a. So question 2a, basically we've got make x the subject. So notice the numbers here. The numbers you've got here is 16 and 32. Now, this particular question, there's actually 2 ways you can do this. You can actually use logs, but you could also do it just with writing with index as well. Like when I say index, I'm talking about like a base of 2. It makes things easier. Because remember, I think this is something from MCAT days, or even just you would have probably used to it quite a bit, is you know that 2 to the power of 4 is 16, and 2 to the power of 5 is 32. So what we can then do is we're going to write, instead of 16, we're going to write 2 to the power of 4, and instead of 32, we're going to write that as 2 to the power of 5. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of 16 and I'm going to replace that with 2 to the power of 4 to the power of px, and then this is equal to 32 is 2 to the power of 5 to the power of 2 minus x. So there's my 16 and there's my 32. Now, in saying this, I wouldn't be surprised next year if they actually throw this question in level 1 MCAT, because I think that's basically the idea here. So the next step is we've got to multiply the powers. All right, so we're going to write this as 2 to the power of 4. One really good idea, guys, that I would recommend is putting a bracket anytime you want to multiply the 2 powers. Okay. So then what we have is we can actually rewrite this as 2 to the power of 5, and then make sure you put that bracket around 2 minus x, because if you don't put the bracket around 2 minus x, then the common mistake people do is they write it up as 10 minus x, and that's actually incorrect. Okay, so just make sure you put 2 to the power and you actually put that bracket with the 2 minus x should be in a bracket. Micah, yes I am. Why do I do this? Why not? I'm just here to help people, man. Okay, so once we get up to this point, we can kind of see that the 2 bases are the same now. So we can almost get rid of them. Don't really worry about it anymore. And so what we can actually say is that the 2 powers are actually equal to each other. And because they're equal to each other, we just go 4px equals 5 multiplied by 2 minus x. Now guys, we are nearly there in terms of getting this. I think this question was excellence maybe. Or was it merit? I can't remember now. But anyway, we've not finished yet because we've got to actually make x the subject. And I think this part is fairly things that are routine. So we've got 4 multiplied by px, which is equal to 4px. And then you've got 5 times 2 and then 5 times negative x. So 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times negative x is negative 5x. No worries, you're welcome, Rukun. So we've got to actually bring x, rearrange so that we bring all the x's together. So we're going to get 4px. The negative 5x, when it comes over to the left hand side, it becomes positive 5x, and that's equal to 10. So at this point, we can't really combine 4px and 5x, but what we can do is we can actually take x out as a common factor. All right, so and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take x out as a common factor, which means this is going to be 4p plus 5 equals to 10. And now I can actually write x by itself. So x is equal to 10 over 4p plus 5. All right, guys, any questions with question 2a? There is another way to do this question with 2a. You could actually use logs, but what I'll do is I'll do that at the end, because I have another question towards the end which actually is a lot more easier with logs rather than doing this. I mean, this method only works, the only reason it actually works is because we've got these numbers up here, which is 16 and 32, which actually kind of nicely work with 2 to the power of 4 and 2 to the power of 5. All right, sweet. So why don't you guys have a go with question 2b? So have a go. I mean, like, and again, remember, the numbers that you're going to work with are the numbers actually generally tend to be nice numbers. In this case, I've actually given you guys nice numbers. So 25 and 125. Just remember, should I give you a clue? Oh, I think you guys got it. So yes for a clue or no for no clue? Okay, clue. So just remember that you've actually got 25 here and 125. So those could be okay. No clue, then don't listen. Well, theoretically in your exam, you're not going to be given a clue, so it's not like I'm going to come in and say, okay guys, would you like a clue or not? No, I'm not going to say. I'm just going to leave those two things. I'll let you guys have a think about it. What I might do later, guys, is I might actually run just a tutorial on just some important numbers, like where you actually recognize when you don't actually have to go into hard out using a calculator. Like these questions here, you don't really need to use calculator. Actually, it's a good point. No, actually, no, you can actually use logs still, so that would work as well. But all right, anyway, we're gonna go through with this question. So the clue that I was gonna give you guys was this: 25 is the same thing as saying 5 squared. And the next clue is that 5 cubed is equal to 25 times 3. All right, so sorry, 25 times 3, 25 times 5. So that's why it's very handy to actually just kind of use keep your calculator close with these things. So what we're going to do is we've got 5 squared as 25, so we're going to replace 25 with 5 squared, and we've got 5 to the power of 3 is 125. And so we're going to rewrite this as 5 squared to x over a plus b equals 125 is 5 to the power of 3. Rukun, I actually did that about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, discriminant questions. I literally spent a whole live stream on discriminants. So what I do is I basically do a theme, man. So I go through exponents today, and then after exponents I'll probably be looking at word problems with quadratic equations, and then I'll come back to discriminants, and then I'll just keep going through that cycle. Okay, so if you want to have a look at my discriminant tutorial, I will drop a link. Give me a second. There we go. That is where you can actually watch the discriminant tutorial, Rukan. Alright guys, so I am betting how many of you did this right now. So you probably did this. 5 to the power of 2 multiplied by x over a plus b equals 5 to the power of 3. Now unfortunately, John, I will not be doing probability. I'm not I'm good at a few things, but not, I mean, like, how do I say it? I'm okay at it, but I'm not the best at it, if that makes sense. Good, good if you didn't do that, because remember what I talked to you guys about. Always make sure you put that bracket, because if you didn't put that bracket, then things are gonna end up getting wrong. Because that bracket is really, really important. Once you put the bracket, then you can actually say the two powers are equal to each other, get rid of the 5's, and what we've got here is 2 multiplied by x over a plus b equals to 3. Micah, that link was for, someone asked for a discriminant tutorial that I did last. Yeah, that's all, mate. Okay, so at this point, then because I want to have x by itself, I'm going to get rid of the 2. So I'm going to have x over a plus b is equal to 3 divided by 2. Then I've got x over a equals 3 over 2 minus b, because when I bring b to the other side, it's opposite of that symbol. And then finally, I've got x is equal to, I'm going to put 3 over 2 minus b in a bracket, and a will be multiplied by that bracket. So guys, that's basically it for question 2b, and I guess the only part where you need to be really careful about is this part right here, making sure you put that bracket around that power, otherwise you can actually end up with the wrong proof. Is that a yay, you got the answer, or you guys talking about something completely different? Yes, Micah, you could use logs for these questions, but the reason I didn't actually use logs was because I wanted to show you guys how you can actually use without logs. Now I've got a question later here, which is question C. In that one, you won't be able to do what do you call it? You won't be able to do it with replacing it with bases. Sweet. So should we actually try doing question C yet, or do you guys want to come back to that later after I kind of cover some basic logs? Okay, let's go with question C, because question C is actually Basher, welcome Basher. I think that question 2b is question 2b, was that? I think that might be excellence actually, because I know that in question 2a and 2b this part gets you achieved right here. So just putting that in bases gets you an achieved. So I would probably say that question 2b is actually excellence. I know that. I know definitely question 2b is excellence. And I think it's one of those weird questions in question 2b where you get either achieved or excellence. No worries, Saran, you're welcome. And I'll probably put question 2a at a, wait, let's see. Yeah, I'll probably put question 2a at an excellence as well. So both of those questions we just did, yeah, they're excellence questions. I know I looked earlier, someone said that logs actually suck. I literally made like about nine videos on logs yesterday. Make sure you check them out because they have like a good summary of what you need for logs. But it's not too bad. I mean, even if you just sit in this tutorial, I guarantee by the end of it, you will actually have, you will get the hang of logs pretty quickly. Okay, so let's go to question C. Question C. You know, and I'm like, no, Harry, I've not written any exams for NCEA. You're welcome, Bashir. So in this case, like we know we can actually write 2 squared is equal to 4. But the problem is we actually don't know what number is, like 2 to the power of what number is 10. We just don't know what that is. All right, so therefore we can't actually use the whole, we actually can't use that whole base thing. So we actually have to use logs in this. Okay, so to the person that actually said logs sucked, I'm going to teach you logs literally in the next 2 minutes. So listen up. All you got to do in this type of question is you do this. You put log, and then you put log 4x plus 1 equals log 10x. Step 1, that's what step 1 is. Step 2 is this. One of the log rules, and this log rule is actually given to you guys in the exam. It looks like this. Log to the power of a n is the same thing as saying n log a. So if you think about it, so if you have something as in the power, then you literally just move the power to the front, like how it's done here. Wrong color. So that's basically what's happening here. So with these equations right now, all we've got is x plus 1 and x. We actually need to bring it in front of the the logs. So basically it's going to look like this. X plus 1 log 4 and x log 10. So here's the thing though. Remember that whenever you're dealing with powers that have like a couple of extra terms, like not just x, but like you got x and a number by itself, always a good idea to put them in a bracket like this. Okay, now guys, don't worry about this. What I'm going to do is I am going to give you guys another question like this on the side here, so you guys will get to have a go, just to have a go at this question anyway. Again, we're going to do it again. So once we get to this stage, what we do is we treat log 4 like it's a quadratic. All right, not a quadratic, like expanding a bracket, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to go x times log 4 and then 1 times log 4. So when we do x times log 4, we're going to get x log 4 plus 1 times log 4 is just log 4 equals x log 10. Now you'll be surprised at how easy this excellence question is. Oh, thanks, Jay. Maybe I should do a Q&A for it. Anyway, we're trying to bring x by itself. So what we need to do is we actually need to bring this entire term. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to get rid of the log 4 first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write x log 4 equals x log 10. And I'm going to switch log 4 to the right hand side, which means I'm going to get minus log 4. Then I'm going to bring in the x log 10 to the left hand side, which means it's going to end up being minus x log 10. And all of this is equal to minus log 4. TS, I am sure you get that formula. Let me just check. Let me just give me 1 second, but I'm just going to check that formula sheet for you guys. Yes, you do, man. I'll show you the formula. So TS, have a look at that link that I've just posted. That's the formula sheet that you'll get for the end of year exam. Lily, yes, all these live streams get saved on the YouTube channel as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one, Micah. Oh, that's horrible, man. Yeah, sometimes that's not nice, TS. But you do get it at the end of your exam, man. Okay? So guys, now what we've got is we've actually got x's on both sides, and we've also got them as a common factor. So I'm going to take x out as a common factor. By taking x out as a common factor, I've got log 4 minus log 10, and then this is equal to minus log 4. So I can now write x is equal to minus log 4, and the whole thing is divided by log 4 minus log 10. And that's basically it to get an excellence for that question. I'm telling you guys, like in some of the excellence questions in level 2, it's just so easy. As long as you do the rules and you keep practicing the rules, then it just becomes like literally the easiest excellence you can actually get in level 2 algebra. No, you cannot simplify that in Fuse. I have seen kids go ahead and do silly things like this. They cancel out the 2 log 4s. Please don't do that. That's actually incorrect. You cannot do anything past this. So guys, I'm going to give you guys another question here. We're going to call it C2, and I want you guys to have a go at this time. So we're going to put it as okay, go try that question. Micah, if you get 1 excellence, that'll give you 7 points, and I think you probably need like it depends, Micah, because sometimes they change it to like 8 points for a pass, sometimes it's 7 for a pass. Must be nice to be smart. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by Lily there. Step 1, put in front. Step 2, put exponents in front of log. Yes. Yes. Step 3, expand, rearrange equation. Yes, that's absolutely right, Minila. Tamsin, I'm busy with my kid. Like, that's why I only do this in the night times now. Like, I do the tutorials at 9 after my kid goes to sleep. Basher, you mean differentiation for level 3 or level 2? No, Lily, I don't do physics. Hey, stop wasting time, guys. Go have a go at this question number 2. Yeah, Micah, trust me. I've worked with kids that that actually did not get through the MCAT, but then they got up to like 14 points. They were 1 point short of getting a merit, but that's because I only started working with them like well towards the end. But yeah, sorry, Micah. Basher, there's a whole lot of level 3 stuff down at the bottom of my homepage, man. Let me see. So Basher, check out this one. That's all the calculus stuff at level 3. And then I'm going to send you another link. The second link is for all the questions, like practice questions and stuff like that. Tessera, I teach at Ormiston Senior College. Okay, let's do question number 2. I'm sure you guys have the C2. I'm sure you guys would have kind of finished that. So what we're going to do, take logs. So first step, we're going to write them as logs of both sides. So we got log of 7 to the power of 2 minus x equals log of 3 to the power of x. We're now going to bring the powers to the front. So when we bring the 2 minus x, make sure we put it in a bracket. So that's going to be log 7 equals x log 3. And so here I need to expand the brackets. So I've got 2 times log 7, which is 2 log 7, minus x times log 7 is negative x log 7. And all of this is equal to x log 3. X log 10. Hang on, Micah, I'm just having a look at in C1, how did you go from x log 10 to minus x log 10? X log 10 to minus x log 10. X log 10. Oh, right. Micah, when you bring, you know how when you rearrange equations, when you bring like things from one side to the other side, you change your symbol? So basically, when it's, just going to choose a different color here. So see how this here is positive x log 10? So when I bring it over to the other side, it actually becomes minus x log 10. All right. Going back to this question, I don't want to actually bring the x log 3. I'm just going to take the x log 7 to the other side just to make things a bit easier for me. So Micah, if you're listening, notice in this question you've actually got minus x log 7. So if I move it to the other side, then it's going to become plus x log 7. So that was the same question you were asking me before. All right, once we get here, we've got x as a common factor. So we can actually take out x as a common factor, and what we're going to end up with is log 3 plus log 7. And now we can rewrite this as 2 log 7 equals x over log 3 plus log 7. All right, now one more step, guys, in this. Remember that you also get the log rules. I'm just going to go back to Tias, who was telling me that he couldn't see the log rules. Yes. So there's one more rule that's actually worth remembering, and that's this. When you have log A plus log B, this is the same thing as saying log of A times B. So, damn, I'm out of space. So you just got one more step to do in this case. You've got 2 log 7, and that's over log 3 plus log 7, which could be written as log 21, because the way I got 21 was 3 times 7 equals to 21. Because look at this, you got A and B, and we put that together by A over B. Locos, I'm getting to it, man. I'm gonna just do the what is it? This week and next week I'm just gonna do level 2. I'm going on a holiday, and then after that I come back, I'll start doing some level 3 and level 2 stuff again. But I do have to do that integration paper, which I still haven't done yet. Yeah, it sucks, TS, but it's not. It's just one formula, man, so you should be all right. So guys, this was another excellence question as well. So I'm hoping that you guys can see, you know, I know someone actually mentioned log was a bit horrible, but trust me, it's one of the easiest ones to do in terms of rearranging things, because they only have like 3 rules, and as long as you remember 3 rules, then you're good to go. What was that? Yeah, somebody asked for a oh, that's tough, TS. That's pretty horrible. Okay, guys. So we're gonna revisit some achieved and merit questions, but like things that makes your life a little bit more simpler, because we've only got like 8 minutes. I didn't realize that, and I've still got about a few more questions to go. But these ones I'm gonna kind of show you guys real quickly how to do them. And again, you can use logs for these as well. Now you got 3 to the power of x equals 12. So I do apologize, guys. I'm just going to kind of fly through this over the next 10 minutes. But we can use logs in this one. Because look, you've just done the hardest excellence question. I'm sure you guys can actually put this in logs. Yes, you do need to use the calculator for this, Micah. There's actually no way to do this without the calculator. But the way to do this is we're going to take logs for both sides. So we're going to get log 3x equals log 12. And then remember what we just learned. We just learned that we can actually bring x to the front. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring x to the front, and this is going to be x is equal to log 3 over log 12. And then we can say x is equal to log 12 over log 3. So go to your calculator and just type in log 12 divided by log 3, which is going to give you 2.26. Nah, Rookin, it's that's the time to actually start playing my long-awaited NBA game. Yeah, this is an achieved question. Also, guys, you don't just have to use logs. If you end up using ln, that's fine as well. You should get the same answer again. See, it doesn't matter if you use log or ln. So that's a nice and easy one. So we're just going to write down x is equal to 2.26. All right. So same idea with Rukun. It's a bit of a long story, but if in my level 1 tutorials, I'm actually embarrassed to say, but I actually don't have 2K20. I recently purchased NBA 2K16 for $1 on TradeMe because I don't want to spend $100 in a game. That's it. What is approved significant figure for this? I'd probably say just go with like 2 decimal places for this, man. You should be all right. So guys, if you look at question 3b, same rules with log. So we're going to take log 4x minus 1 equals log of 10. So remember, the power is x minus 1. So we're gonna bring that in the front, and we're gonna write this as x minus 1. Make sure you put that in a bracket. Multiplied by log 4 equals log 10. So then we can say that x minus 1 equals log 10 divided by log 4. So at this point, I'm going to do a bit of a lazy thing, and I'm just going to leave the log 10 and log 4 as it is. But I'm going to move that minus 1 to the other side to make it plus 1. This would be, yes, this would be an achieved question as well. So in this case, we're just going to kind of do that all in one line. But just make sure you put that log 10 over log 4 in a in a bracket, and then we're going to go plus 1. So we're going to get x is equal to 2.66. Yep, another achieved question. Can't you just make 12 the same base? Alan, no, you cannot. The reason you can't make the same base is because, remember, 3 squared, like 3 to the power of 1 is 3, 3 squared is 9, and then the next number after that is actually 27. So you will not be able to put that at 12 as right as 3 to the power of something. Yes, Dominic, you are allowed calculators in level 2 algebra. That's what I was talking about to all the level 1 guys. If you can actually get to level 2, it's actually a lot more easy. Can't you expand x plus 1, your log, in this question? Rukan, you could do it, but it's just going to have like extra bit of working. Alright, so you don't want to expand it. You can just move the log 4 to the other side and make things simple. Unshackle, this will be up in about 15 minutes when I finish streaming, man. So you'll find it under the tutorial section. Alright guys, let's go to question C. Now question C and D, I'm going to show you how to do this in like literally 1 line. Okay, that's all. There's only 2 tricks, both for question C and D. You just got to do one thing and then you're basically fine. Okay, first rule is this. If you're dealing with single digits, like here I've got x to the power of 4, I'm just going to rewrite that as x to the power of 4 over 1. And then if you want to actually figure out what x is, you just got to write this as x is equal to 40 to the power of 1 over 4. And the reason I've written that 40 over 1 over 4, now you might be wondering, what? How did, because now I can solve this, because watch this, I literally just go 40 to the power of, make sure you put that 1 over 4 in a bracket, and then I've got 2.515 as my answer. Now, if you want to know how I did that so quickly, there is this one extra step that I can show you, which is why I've kept that little break in the middle. Now, in your exam, you don't need to show that bit in the middle. You can just jump straight into this line here. But the trick is this. Because we have got x to the power of 4, which equals to 40, what we want to do is we want to change this 4 into a 1, right? Because that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to get to in the end. Because this x right here has got a power of 1. So if we want to change 4 to a 1, then all we got to do is we've got to multiply it by a quarter. And also remember, 40 has a power of 1. And if you multiply the power by a quarter on the left hand side, you've also got to multiply by a quarter on the right hand side. And so this is how we actually get this. I'm just going to show you. So 4 times a quarter now becomes 1, and 1 times a quarter becomes a quarter here. Yes, you could do that as well, CP. You could do it as a 4th root. That's absolutely fine. Dominic, officially it gets released sometime next year, I think. So if we have a look at question D, so we just rewrite this as x is equal to 20 to the power of 4 over 3. Okay, and somebody asked me earlier, like, can we actually do some surds? Well, guess what? This is a surd, because all this is this could be rewritten as 20 to the power of 4, and it's the 3rd root of 20 to the power of 4. But again, if you guys want to have a look at it, all I did was I multiplied the power by 4 over 3, multiplied 20's power, which is actually 1, and I multiplied it by 4 over 3. So if you look at it, 3 over 4 times 4 over 3 is equal to 1, which is not written there. There you go. And then you've got 1 times 4 over 3, which is just equal to 4 over 3. I'll show you very shortly, Hugh. So that's a couple of really good questions, guys. How do you do that? So even if you look at the first question, the C, you could actually have written this as x is equal to 4th root of 40. So as you guys can see on my Kate, I reckon you can just do like 2-3 decimals. It's like people don't get like too fussy about it. In the exam answer schedules that I've seen, it's like 2 decimal places. What was Tamsin's way? Oh yeah. Sorry, Tamsin. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys both methods here. So if you want to do the 4th root of 40, now I know that you guys can't actually see my mouse, which really sucks. Yeah, you can't see it. Okay, that just kind of sucks. But what we're going to do is see the button right next to exit. There's a little arrow button that points up. Now if you press shift that, there's a little X and square root button. So the button I'm looking for, it looks, oh, you can't see my mouse. Oh, okay, that's just weird. So basically, if I want to find the 4th root, I just go 4, and then I'll go shift that button there. So shift that, and then I type in 40. And as you guys can see, it's the same answer. Yeah, sorry, TS, I forgot. Now I think you guys should be able to see the mouse there now. Yeah, it's just a little delay. There's a 15-second delay, and when I thought it was actually going live. Okay, so as for the second question, we've actually got 20 to the power of 4 over 3. So we're going to put 4 over 3 in a bracket. But if you want to do it in the surds way, then what you have to do is put down the 3 first, and then go shift that x square root symbol. But this time, make sure you put 20 to the power of 4. So we're going to go to 20 to the power of 4, and then close brackets. Unshackle, I'm gonna try and do like a couple, but subscribe, man, to keep up with it, because it's like some days I just get up. If I'm too tired, I don't actually do it. But if I'm kind of like got a bit of energy, then yeah, I will just kind of like 3-hour notice, and I'll just do a tutorial. Or can we do 3/4 rooted? 3/4 rooted. Let's try it, Tamsin. I've never tried that, but if you're gonna do 3/4, just make sure you put 3/4 in a bracket. So I'm gonna put 3/4, shift that 20. There you go. That works too. And I think that's the best part about. So what are the main things you need to remember for logs? TS. The main one you need to remember is the shifting the power. Like, you know how we did that 2 excellence questions? Yeah. So guys, as you can see, you could actually use any one of these 3 methods here to try and solve for question D. All right, and they all accepted. Yes, Micah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, actually, in fact, Tamsin, thank you very much, because I don't think I have actually seen this method here before. That's the first time I've seen it. Yes, I know it works, but I didn't even think about it like that. But that's, yeah, that absolutely works. Cool. Let's go to the last question. All right, the last question. I think you guys should be fine with this one, because all you have is you first have to write it as a fraction. So this is going to be x to the power of 2 over 3 is equal to 8. Trust me, TS, you're going to learn that in like Because look, you've just figured it out, man. Because what you got to do is you got to put x is equal to now 8 to the power of 3 over 2. That's it. You're done. Finished. Get yeah, 22.62 or 63. Okay, I think that's all the questions I had for you guys. Let's see. Yes, that's all the questions. Alright guys, that's basically it for this tutorial today. I'll hang around as always for a few minutes just to answer any questions. But this tutorial will get, what do you call it? We will actually, I'll put this as a video, and I think it gets stored here. So if you go to my homepage, where would it be? You might see it under this section here, which is the past live stream section, or way down in the level 2 section. It's going to pop up in the level 2 algebra tutorials. So I mean, I was talking to someone earlier. The last tutorial I did on discriminants is actually there. Yeah, sorry, Unshackled. I just kind of just do it when I get some time. Yeah, no worries, Micah. You're welcome. All good, guys. TS, I did one calculus tutorial. I think, where was it? Yeah, there you go. If you go to the past live streams in my main page, I think it was on 9th of September I did a live stream for calculus. Yes, Speedy, I use a Surface. It's quite useful. Nah, I just use my Surface tablet. That's why, I mean, like I'm on a very basic setup here. I just have a Surface tablet, and I think I downloaded this, what do you call this particular program called, geez, I don't even know what it's called now. What is it called? XSplit Broadcaster, that's what I use. When's the next live stream? I'm thinking I might be able to do it on a Sunday, depending on a few things. But if I'm doing it on a Sunday night, I'll actually just put it up a lot more earlier, guys, so you guys will get a little I don't know what you guys get when a live stream comes up, but I'll put it up on the community notice as well, so you guys can just have a look at it. But I think Sunday we'll probably do calculus. Oh, sorry, Aaron. No, I did not miss. Any advice for upcoming mocks next week, Aaron? Go through my like in my tutorial section, right? Like I've actually got like a whole, I'll show you what I'm talking about, Aaron. Here we go. So this is the level 2 algebra tutorials live playlist. So click on that, and what you have is, this is like lessons from my class as well. So some of those log questions. So you guys actually know log. So these are some of the lessons that I've done. But what I generally do is like I kind of go through just revision by parts. So I don't actually do like a lot of different questions. But like, so for example, in this tutorial, all I focused was on exponentials, right? And then this video here is all about discriminants and so on. It'll be this Sunday, definitely not next Sunday. No worries, you're welcome, Aaron. So yeah, this Sunday we'll probably be doing some calculus stuff, guys. So I'm gonna be looking at those drawing stuff for calculus. No worries, you're welcome. All good, Speedy. Now, and as usual, guys, if you have any questions, just send it through the Facebook page, and then I can do like a viewer question, like how I did it with the level 1 MCAT guys. Crystalline, I was saying that Tamsin actually showed me how to do something which I've not seen in a while. Yeah, now it was really interesting, that whole 3/4 in the front. I've not seen that before. It still works. I mean, it's the same thing as she was showing me how to do this. There. See, I was actually doing this question like this, and then she showed me how to do it this way, which I've never thought of before. So that's pretty cool. Learn something new every day. Alright guys, if that's it, then I shall... Marist? Where is Marist College? Oh, at Albert. Right. No, I know it's in Auckland. I forgot Mount Albert. Ah, sweet. Oh, so this is all the mount. I think this is nice. No, I just had a quick look. TS, if you have any particular questions, man, just take a screenshot of a couple of questions and just send it to my Facebook page, and then I'll make some what do you call it? Because I can basically do this. I think I started doing it, but I stopped. Where was it? Let me just find it, because it's easier for me to just answer questions when you guys send it. Then I just make like videos like where is it? This playlist here, the level 2 algebra preparation playlist. So people just send me questions, and then I just do it. So hang on, let me just kind of go through this. So here we go. I just started doing it. I've just done like one question at the moment. What exactly do you want me to say, Crystalline? Yeah, so I'll just give you guys like in my main page. If you go to the main page, under there's a Facebook link right there. So if you go there and click on that Facebook link, you should get to my Facebook page, and then you can just drop a question, and then when I get some time, because at the moment these are the level 2 kids questions that I haven't done yet, so I'll show you an example. So this is how people actually send me questions. They just take like screenshots of questions that they want me to do, and they just send it. So something like this. Nah guys, don't like okay, so like I'll show you guys something. Give me a second. This was earlier this year, so don't need to worry about it. I just do this for helping people out. Oh yes, okay, so this is a shout out to, wait, are we recording yet, or? Okay, so so what do we got? We've got Erin, Tamsin, Kate, Crystalline, Lily, and what? Therese. I'm assuming Therese is a student, are the best Marist students. There we go. Oh, what's up, Josh? Welcome back. How's uni, man? No worries, Crystalline. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Yeah, he was my old student from last year. Uh, Screenshot it, man, but don't screenshot the name, if that makes sense. I teach at Ormiston Senior College. Josh, you should have seen on Monday, man. I had like 480 students here on my one of my live streams. It was just I couldn't keep up with the comments. Yes, Micah, I had 480 people in the stream. I mean, right now we've got 25. I actually like 25. It's a nice number to work with. Yeah, say hi to the guys from me, Josh. No, I'm supposed like I think I saw Bob the other day as well, so he was just driving along in his own car, so now Micah, it was not a class. It was like me teaching back, and it's crazy. Like I think last year I had 430. I thought 430 was crazy, but 480 this year was just like nuts. Nah, TS, no donations, no ads, no monetizing, nothing, man. Oh, Victor, you're here as well. Which one do you need, Victor? Which paper is this? Good on you, Kate. Dominic, I think I'm I'm gonna visit Wellington, but no, 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 Speedy, don't even think about it, man. Just buy something nice for yourself. Oh, Matt's 108. Yeah, chuck us a few questions, Victor. I'll see if I can try and remember it from like God, 18 years ago. Speedy, are you in where are you, Speedy? Where did was it in Northcourt? No, was it Northcourt or I can't remember now. Mount Roscoe. Oh, okay, sweet as. Well, I mean, guys, I mean, like, look, I'll be honest, like, that's why I do this in the night times because it's like, uh, just help out people. It's easy to help out people from here. But now, if you guys have like questions, man, just chuck it my way, and then I'm happy to make like little videos and just post it up. Yes, Crystal, I will. I will. I'll call it in about 20 seconds because I could just keep talking all afternoon, well, evening. All right, guys, that's me. TS, very quickly, it depends, man. Like, for example, I was quite busy with the level 1 videos, but now I'll start doing the level 2 videos. So each video takes me about, I don't know, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes to make. But the problem is I just have to find a quiet space. Like, that's the main problem. Because at home, I have to wait till my kid goes to sleep. At school, I have to wait till the kids go quiet. Yeah, so usually it'll be like sporadic. So sometimes I get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning because that's the quietest time, so I can belt out a few videos and then just kind of upload it. So just start sending me the questions, TS. If the OneNote link is actually there on my on the screen, on the description. So what happens is if you go to the level 2 tutorials, when you send me a question, I'll basically just create a new name for you, and then your question will just be kind of like in that order. So at the moment, this question from this student, I've already done. So the next question I'm working is in this one, and then slowly I'll start working through it. Ah, yeah. Nah, it's all good, guys. All right, so we'll catch up with you on Sunday where we're going to go through calculus questions. To my old guys that come and said hello, thank you so much. It's always nice hearing back from you guys. Josh, if you're still there, give a big shout out to Jen and the rest of the team. Victor, nice hearing from you as well, man. All right, now I actually got to try and figure out how to stop this thing. That's always a pain.